Hey there, YouTube. Charles here with Dubs Media, and today I kind of wanted to go through a video that I've been thinking about putting together for a little bit now, and that's kind of the 5 or 6 reasons that I'm still shooting with Canon. And I started with the T5i. I got that one sitting over there on the desk, and then I've got the 70D now that I've had for a couple years now. And I'll be honest, I suffer from gas as well, or gear acquisition syndrome. But I'm kind of at a standstill right now as to what my next body will be. And there's a couple different reasons for that. And I want to kind of take this from approach of kind of a newer photographer like myself, who's getting to understand photography and lighting and things like that, and trying to make a decision on what the right camera for them would be. Now, first and foremost, I don't think I've outgrown the 70D at all. It's definitely, it's done everything I've asked it to do, and I still know that there's stuff in it that I haven't actually tapped into yet. And I think that things like lighting and things like that make a huge difference in photography, and not necessarily the body itself. The only thing that I've really been considering a lot lately is switching into a full frame body. Recently shooting a wedding with the 5D Mark III, and previous to that I rented the 6D for a little while and did some shooting with that, and I fell in love with that full frame look and the types of images that you can get from that. So, but back to the main purpose of this video, and that's the 6 reasons why I'm still with Canon, and why I haven't decided to jump ship, but I haven't yet upgraded my body to a newer body. So we'll get to that a little bit later here. So I'm just going to take a look at my notes quick here. So the first reason why I'm still with Canon is the ecosystem of lenses. I consider myself, I'm not a pro photographer. It's not a full-time gig for me. It's a side business that I run. And so oftentimes I don't have $2,000 to invest in an 85 1.2, or 85 1.2 or a 50 1.2. However, I've found that some of my favorite lenses, like the Canon 85 1.8, even the nifty 50, the newer version, the STM version, and the older version, I have both of them. They're still great lenses, and they're still great value for the money. I would argue with anybody that says that those 2 lenses means that you can't get good quality images that your customers will like and enjoy, just because they're not the 85 1.2. So, and there's such a plethora of lenses out there, third-party lenses, Canon's own lenses, that it gives you options about what you want to pick up and what you want to shoot and the style that you shoot. And originally, when I first started shooting photography more so than video, I really thought that I wanted zooms. Like I wanted the 2.8 zooms. I wanted, as wide of aperture zoom as I could get. And I find that as I've matured a little bit in photography and kind of what I'm looking for, a lot of times I shoot primes. I really love the look of that 85 1.8. It's a killer value. I think it's somewhere around $400, $350, $400 or something right now. And it creates really good images. Now, are they anything like what you'd get out of the 85 1.2? That's like $19.99 right now. I know there's a huge night and day difference, but for me and for the people that I've delivered photos to, I could tell you that they don't really notice a difference. They really like the looks of the photos that I've gotten with that lens. So, but again, just lenses like that that are out there that allow you flexibility and kind of break down the barrier to creativity when you can get cheaper lenses and you can do different things with lenses, more so than say like a Sony system. There's just not the support out there yet for third-party lenses or even cheaper lenses for that matter. Even this guy that I shoot my videos with, the Canon 10-18 variable aperture lens, I think it's 3.5 to 5.6. don't quote me on that one. I pretty close, I would think. Nope, 4.5 to 5.6 is what it's looking like, but still a good lens when you have the right light and you know what you're trying to shoot with that lens. It's really a nice lens for the money. So definitely recommend picking up one of those for like a video like I'm shooting here. The camera is literally, the lens is not more than 2 feet from my face here, maybe 2.5 feet from my face. And so I really do like this lens as well. The second point is reliability. I can tell you the 70D has never left me wanting for more. I don't have to worry about overheating. I don't have to worry about you know, any weird quirks or freezing or anything like that. It's just been a solid, reliable camera that has performed in anything that I've asked it to do. Video is decent on it. I love the DP-AF, and that's another point that I'll talk about a little bit later. But it's a solid camera, and it's reliable. Once you get used to learning it or used to the system, you can depend on it, and you know it's going to work for you. So the third point is the dual pixel autofocus system. As much as I've kind of researched all the different camera systems and things like that, DP-AF is far and away better in video than any of the other systems out there. And I've seen a lot of people even, you know, second that opinion, but I love the DP-AF in this camera. It's like it's in my head, and it sees what it is that I want it to focus on, and it makes those decisions for me. And I know some people like to manual focus in video. I haven't quite got into doing that yet, so the good autofocus system allows me to kind of focus on other things rather than whether my camera is going to focus and having to worry about that. So it's really been amazing on that. My fourth point here is I'm still learning and I'm still growing in photography, and that's one of the things that you'll realize if you're just getting started in photography is the investment of not only money, and there's a considerable investment in money. I've spent a lot of money on equipment and different gear and things like that, but the investment in time to learn your camera, learn lighting, learn how to work with that, learn composition, and learn what to look for when you're shooting photos. If you're into video, kind of, you know, the different equipment that goes along with shooting video, microphones and lighting and things like that, because it's different than with, you know, photography. So I've just felt for myself personally at this point, I want to still focus on learning the art. And my camera, though, is a few years old now, and it's probably, I know it's behind the 80D. The 80D's got a great sensor in there, 6 more megapixels, great dynamic range. For me, I'm putting my time and the money that I'm still setting aside to invest in photography into things like my lighting, my 80 or my Explorer or Evolve 200, maybe an Explorer 600, some studio lights and things to kind of make things better. I'll do a review a little bit later, but the Rode video maker kit, the wireless lav and receiver setup, and that's what I use for all my videos for audio, is bar none the easiest thing that I've worked with from an audio standpoint. I love it to death. So I'm investing my time and my money into continuing to learn the art and how to work around what my camera's doing and things like that, and learning that. And I just don't have the time investment that I would like to right now to learn a different system, reinvest all my time in selling off my gear and getting new gear and kind of getting things upgraded. Now, I'll get to that a little bit later here, but I definitely think that that's something to kind of consider when you're thinking about, is it time to upgrade or move to a different system. The fifth thing that I've got here is Canon color. I absolutely love the color coming off of almost any Canon camera. you know, it's something about it's a unique look. And I've looked at the Sony sensors and the Nikon sensors, and Nikon is really good as well. But it just seems like the skin tones and the rendering and the pop and the colors in a Canon camera, just I can't quite put my finger on it, but I still love that look. And so I'm hoping that Canon tends to update and kind of get with more of the mainstream features and stuff in the future. But I'm completely all right with keeping my 70D for now. Continue doing what I'm doing and learning and growing as a photographer. So, and then my last point, my 6th point, is kind of a 2-point or a half point together. I don't think I've outgrown this camera, and the dealer support out there for Canon is crazy. They're the biggest camera manufacturer in the world. They sell more cameras. They're #1 by far in camera sales. And so when you're dealing with that big of an entity, yes, they don't have the new splashy products, but they make really good, reliable products that people depend on to create photos and videos, and they're going to continue selling. And any camera shop that sells cameras is going to carry Canon. And so you can go in there and you can look at different equipment and play around with it. Not the case with some of the other brands. Now, I noticed that Sony has gotten way better. National retailers, even smaller camera shops, which I really do like dealing with smaller camera shops or local camera shops, just because I think you get a more personal touch. You're dealing with people that actually use the equipment that they sell, and they're very knowledgeable about it. So if I have a choice, I tend to deal with local mom and pop camera shops or family-owned camera shops. It's just the way I like to do it when I'm purchasing new camera equipment. And Canon is always going to be there. Fuji, yeah, sometimes. You know, a lot of them are Fuji dealers, but they might have Fuji equipment, they might not. You know, Nikon's definitely right there along with Canon. You're going to be able to find Nikon equipment. Nothing wrong with Nikon. I really do like Nikon. I'm just not at the point yet where I want to drop everything and invest in another DSLR camera system. I think my next step might be a mirrorless. I hear EVF is great, and so at this point I'm just staying with Canon for now. So again, just 6 reasons for myself personally that I'm still continuing to stick with Canon, even though a lot of the noise online is saying that Canon's going to get left in the dust, and you know, they're already getting beat out on sensor performance and things like that. So just kind of a voice for the other side at this point. Feel free to put some comments below. Please like and subscribe, guys. If you like the kind of point of view that I'm taking with these videos, please give me some comments. Until next time, guys, get out there and shoot.